Today, we are diving into something I think we've all felt at some point. That moment when it feels like your spiritual growth has just stopped, like you've hit a total standstill. What do you do then? Seriously, have you ever been there? You're doing all the right things, you're praying, you're trying your best, but when you look around, it feels like nothing is changing. It is so frustrating, right? It's like you're stuck in this spiritual waiting room and there's just no sign that anything is happening at all. You know, a big part of that frustration comes from this huge gap between what we expect to happen and what's really going on under the surface. We're all kind of waiting for those big, flashy moments, the quick fixes, the external, undeniable proof that things are moving forward. But the hidden reality? It's almost always about these slow, gradual shifts. It's deep internal work, and most of the time, the progress is completely unseen. So here's the big idea we're going to unpack today. What if that feeling of being stuck is just, well, an illusion? What if underneath all that silence, the most profound, most important work of your life is actually taking place? Let's get clear on what we mean here. When we talk about spiritual transformation, we're not just talking about getting the thing you prayed for. We're talking about the deep internal construction project happening inside you, the formation of your character, the building of patience, the shifting of your entire perspective. And here's the kicker. All of this foundational work often happens long before any of your external circumstances start to change. Yeah, this kind of growth, it doesn't shout. There are no trumpets, no fanfare. It happens in the stillness. In those very moments you might write off as silence or worse, inaction. And it is definitely not an overnight thing. It's way more like a massive tree growing. You can't see it happening from one day to the next, but you look back over a few years, and the change is just undeniable. And this really is the heart of it. The most significant work is happening completely out of sight. It's like the very architecture of your soul is being built brick by brick from the inside out. Okay, so if we can't always see it, how in the world do we know it's real? If the proof isn't outside of us, we have to learn where to look for the real signs. See, the real signs aren't always going to be a new job or a healed relationship. The real signs are internal. Ask yourself this. Are you becoming more patient? Maybe in traffic or with that difficult family member? Are you a little quicker to forgive these days? Do you feel a deeper sense of peace even when your problems are still sitting right there? Is your faith actually getting stronger in this quiet season? Now those are the true markers of growth. And this is so crucial to get. That inner work is the miracle. It's the most powerful evidence you could ever have that something truly profound and meaningful is happening. It's actually way more significant than any temporary external change. And look, this isn't some new idea. The Bible talks about this all the time, how God's process is so different from ours. This verse from Isaiah is a perfect reminder that the divine plan might not make a whole lot of sense from our limited human point of view. We want a straight line from A to B, but the journey might be a long, winding road for a very good reason. Thinking this way really changes everything, doesn't it? That period where it just feels like you're waiting and waiting, that's not a delay. It's not a cosmic pause button. It's a season of deep preparation for what's coming next. It's the training ground. I mean, just look at the story of David. He was anointed to be the king when he was just a kid. That's the promise. So what happened next? Did he get the keys to the castle? No way. He spent years in hiding, running for his life, leading a bunch of misfits out in the wilderness. That was his long, hidden season of preparation, and it was only after all that unseen character building was done that the promise was finally fulfilled, and he was crowned king. And it's the same exact pattern with Joseph. He was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, thrown in prison for something he didn't do. Every single step looked like a massive failure, a step backward. But it was all part of this hidden process that was forging him into the leader he needed to be to eventually save an entire nation. This is such a comforting promise. It doesn't say all things are good. It says God works in all things for our good. And that means even the confusing seasons, the painful seasons, the quiet seasons, they're all being woven into a much larger, purposeful design. So if that's the reality, then how are we supposed to respond? Well, this verse from Psalms kind of gives us the game plan. It's not about trying harder or freaking out or trying to figure it all out. The response is to be still and to wait with a totally new kind of patience. one that comes from trust. So here are the practical takeaways. First, be still. Don't fight against these quiet seasons. Lean into them. Embrace them as times of deep, important work. Second, wait patiently. And that means really letting go of your timeline and your desperate need to see immediate, visible results. And finally, look inward. Start recognizing and celebrating those small, subtle shifts in your character. Those are the real victories. So I want to leave you with this one last thought to chew on. What if this quiet season you might be in right now, the one that feels so frustrating and maybe even unproductive, what if it's actually the most important season of your entire spiritual life? What if this is where the real foundation is being laid for everything that's coming next?